So the Asher comes in 3 different variants, namely the 2-ton solar, 2.5-ton electric smokeless, and the 4-ton electric smokeless. The one in orange color is the 2-ton solar. This is fully powered by using solar panels. It has a single filtration system compared to the 2.5 and for 4-ton electric smokeless. This unit here is the one that we are using for demonstration, and which is also our development unit. This is a 2.5-ton electric smokeless. And this one in green color, is the actual 2.5-ton electric smokeless. So we don't have a 4-ton electric smokeless in display, but you can imagine the size of the 4-ton electric smokeless is about 1 feet wider and 1 feet longer than the 2.5-ton electric smokeless. They actually composed of front main body and also the second filtration tank. As I mentioned earlier, the 2-ton solar comes with a single filtration system, whereas the electric models come with a double filtration system. Okay, so it's the front chamber, the front main chamber here. This section is a heat treatment chamber. This is where you load in the waste. Okay, one of the key components of the heat treatment process is the formulation of the concrete chamber. So the refractory concrete chamber is a specially formulated chamber that has both endothermic and also exothermic characteristics, where it's capable of absorbing, retaining, and also exuding heat continuously. So the refractory chamber has a thickness of 100 mm from inside to outside. Hence, during the treatment process, even though the internal temperature can go up to 1,400, 1,600 degrees C, the external wall is kept below 90 degrees C, and if you're standing 3 feet away, it's about 38 degrees C. So this specially formulated refractory chamber is the reason why we are able to generate heat continuously without using fuel, petrol, gas, diesel, or electricity. All we need is to heat up the chamber up to 100 and 150 degrees C. Then the chamber itself can self-perpetuate with the mass of the waste together generate a heat transfer process continuously and build up the temperature over time. And the refractory chamber here is also protected using a 310L stainless steel that is capable of withstand up to 1,008 degrees C temperature. And once the waste is loaded in, we close the door and the operation starts on its own. Every 12 hours, the waste that was treated will drop down to this ashtray here, and the ashtray will be removed once every 12 hours cycles. Depending on the shift of the operations, if you have a 3-shift operations, 8 hours, so this will be removed. Every 8 hours, we'll just replace with an empty ashtray. The full one will be put set aside to cool down before we separate for metal, glass, or concrete. During the treatment process, you will release gas and it will go through the liquid filtration system. After the liquid filtration system, it will pass through the carbon filtration again. Passes through the carbon filtration. After the carbon filtration system, we go to the second process, which is the same, 3 layers of carbons, and we repeat again for another stack of carbons here. Okay, before we discharge as vapor at temperature below 50 degrees C. This silver color machine is the same as the 2.5-ton electric smokeless green color machine that I've showed just now. This is the machine that we are operating today. Starting of the day, the temperature was at room temperature at about 30 over degrees Celsius. And this is after 30 minutes. The temperature now is about 450 degrees C. This is the temperature of the emissions coming from the waste, not the heat treatment chamber temperature. So again, it's the same operational cycle. It goes through the liquid filtration system, goes through the carbon filtration system, and then it repeats again into the liquid filtration system, and it goes through again the carbon filtration system. And as I mentioned, finally, we recharge as vapor. So the whole system is composed of very simple electrical component. There's no heating element. There's no energy required for the heat generation process. The main pattern of the entire system is the artificial plasma generator, the formulation of the heat treatment chamber, and also the formulation for the filtration system. Right. So the electrical component involved for the entire system, the moving parts of the Asher are just the water pumps and blower fans. There are no other electrical system involved in the manufacturing of the Asher. So the control panel is a very simple system. You're looking at controls for the water pumps and also the blower fan only. There's no PLC, there's no programming system, there's no IoT, there's no complicated automation system that's required for the system. This is a very simple, complex, easy to operate, easy to maintain system. So I mentioned earlier there is a liquid filtration system that we employ into the machine. The water that we use is a combination with our specially formulated high alkaline nanogreen solutions that is used to suppress, neutralize and also filter heavy metals, heavy pollutants like dioxin, furan, SOx, NOx, carbon monoxide and other dangerous gas. So the water that we use here during the process will be dirty, and this contaminated water we do not discharge, and there's no discharge of secondary contamination from the system. So the dirty water that is used in the system will be self-cleaned through our sediment filter system and 3-in-1 filtration system, filtration cartridges, and then we use back into the system. So the water is self-clean, it has a self-cleaning system, self-filtration system, and we will reuse the water again. Hence, there's no secondary contamination, no secondary discharge. The filtration cartridge here will have to be replaced either monthly or 3 months, depending on which type. So when it's due for change, we do not throw out these filtration cartridges. What we need to do is we just throw it into the Asher, and the Asher will self-treat the filters itself. Same goes for the carbon filters that I mentioned, the 3 layers of carbon filters. We will change the carbon filters once every 3 months. When we change, during the changeover, we will remove the old carbon filters and we will throw back into the Asher for treatment. So essentially, the waste that you send to the Asher will be turned into ash, and the waste generated from the Asher due to its consumables and filtration system will also be treated as waste at the Asher. So whatever waste that you send to the Asher stops there. There's no secondary contamination. Even the ash is non-hazardous, non-harmful and non-toxic. We can use it for landscaping, we can use it as a soil conditioner, and we can also use it for making of sand bricks by simple mixture with sand and also water.